This is Kugan Cassius for IFL TV in association with MGM Marbella. We're in Hyde today at Hatton's Health and Fitness, what is it, centre?
That's the one centre, yeah.
First time you've been here?
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? When I think of the first gym I started off in, you know, when I look at the gym that I come to work every day now, it makes me feel very proud. Yeah, I worked hard for it, but if I wanted a gym and I wanted to do it in my hometown, I'm always proud of where I've come from. Coming from Hyde, same side area, so it's a great day to teach me craft, if you like.
Why haven't you invited me here before?
I'm sure you've been here before, mate. I'm sure you've been invited. We've had numerous of fights here. Whenever there's been a fight at the David A, whenever there's been a fight at the MEN Arena, the Phones for You Arena now, we've had David A train here, we've had Derek Chisora train here. Derek was obviously sadly due to come on Tuesday, for obviously we pulled out the fight, which was tragic, but now we've had all the names here. You know, I've done a bit of training whenever they've been fighting in Manchester, yeah.
Still haven't invited me, but I had to invite myself here today. But I had a look downstairs, all your weights and free weights and all the stuff that I don't use basically is downstairs.
Yeah, it's like the days where in boxing training where, you know, you like in the Rocky where you have raw milk and you chase chickens, them days are gone. You know, you've got everyone at the highest level now as a nutritionalist, as a strength coach, as a conditioning coach. And I'm very proud to say that all my boxers that I train all of them facilities under the one roof. You know, and it's a fantastic gym, and it's, you know, there's everything here to give you the best chance at being the best you can at your profession.
Absolutely. So just run me through who's actually here. Obviously we know, just seeing Sonny Upton doing a bit of training here today.
Yeah, I trained Sonny Upton here. Anthony Upton, who just won in London last weekend, who was unbeaten. We've got Kirill Relic, who I also train, who's from Belarus, who's five in the light welterweight rankings by the EBU now. He's 16 fights, 16 wins, 14 knockouts. I trained Zander Zakianov, who's the European bantamweight champion, not unbeaten, but in the number 2 ranked WBC now, I think, and Sergey Rabchenko, who's also the European champion and WBC ranked number 1. So got a good stable. I've only got a small stable now at Hatton Promotions, but the stable's quality, and enjoying working with them, yeah.
It's good. What I wanted to talk to you about is this, well, it's been an ongoing topic for years, and you're probably someone that knows more about it than anyone else. Fighters who have been retired and decide after several years to make a comeback. Graham Old recently did it against Michael Cassius, and obviously there's like Aldi Harrison who comes back and forth, but there's talking about him possibly coming back now. But I mean, you did it yourself. You was out of the ring for so long, and then decided you needed to give it one more shot for your own reasons. But why are fighters doing it?
It's very hard to say. I mean, everyone has their own reasons, if I'm honest. I mean, I have my own reasons, and it's very hard to judge anyone and say that they shouldn't make a comeback, because we all have our own demons, we all have our own reasons in order to do it. But I mean, my reasons was, you know, I achieved more in my career than I ever could have dreamt to have achieved. But I wanted to come because I felt I'd let people down, you know, and so it was like where people said I didn't need to come back and there was nothing more I need to prove. I felt that's the complete opposite. It's why I thought I had to come back. I thought it was a must to redeem myself and make people proud again and rebuild my reputation, if you like. So yeah, you know, there's all different reasons. You know, Audley Harrison wants to come back. He might be still hanging on to that dream that we all have of becoming a world champion. But it's very hard to judge. You know, I can't point the finger at anybody and say they should or shouldn't. You know, we can all say that. You know, for these fighters out there that have seen better days, we've had a lot of war after war after war. They've had a couple of recent heavy knockouts or something like that, and everything points towards them not coming back. But you don't know, they might have something they need to deal with mentally, and you know, so that's why you always find boxers making a comeback, and it's the hardest sport in the world. You know, when you've boxed in front like I was fortunate to do in front of thousands of people, and thousands of people go to Vegas to support me. It's very, very easy to say goodbye to that, because it's the biggest drug you could ever have. That the biggest feeling, you know, like walking out of the city of Manchester in front of 58,000. You know, but cost you to at the MEN 20,000. You know, it's very hard to say goodbye to that. But yeah, fighters all have their own reasons.
Financially, though, is that a big aspect of why some boxers would consider coming back? Because, use a better word, their skin or whatever, but they've
probably, you know. Yeah, probably, because I mean, you know, most boxers, that's all they tend to know, boxing, isn't it? You know, it's not like they can, you know, we've got it's not like they've got their O levels or you know, anything. Not like they've got their O levels or anything like that, you know, where they can go into another profession. 9 times out of 10, that's the profession that they've got. And you know, when boxing's gone, there's nothing else for them to do. So sadly, they feel the need in order to continue fighting when they shouldn't. So that's always a sad case. Yeah, if I come back because I had a reason. If you come back from financially, that's always the wrong reason, I think.
But if they're obviously...
But if they're skin, you know, what can they do? You know?
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they've been doing all their life, and it's a kind of like a harsh reality when you stop boxing, that what you've been doing for so many years isn't there anymore. So, I mean, some people are lucky enough to go into TV work and training, etc., etc. You've set yourself up here.
Yeah, those are the lucky few that are able to do that. But I would say the high majority aren't fortunate to do that. You know, and they've they find something else. I mean, 9 times out of 10 they probably can find a new job, but it's very, very scary for the fighter when that's all you've done all your life, it's all you've ever known, and all of a sudden it's gone and you need an income from somewhere else. You can't blame fighters for sometimes wanting to make another go.
But when you get fighters like Hopkins, who's 49, 50 years old and still going strong, and you know, that's a different thing, isn't it? Because his age obviously is quite remarkable of how he's competing at the highest level, and he's obviously had 2 careers over.
Yeah, Hopkins is one of my heroes and probably one of most people's heroes, but I mean, must be getting to a stage where the sport's probably an illness for him, you know, to want to be boxing when you're 50. I mean, you can't say anything negative about him, because, you know, you look at it, the condition he's in and how he's looked after his body and how he treated him, you know, he's a real role model to look up to. But at 50 years of age, you know, how on earth he should still be fighting. He's surely made enough money. He's achieved more than he wants to. It's just that is a strange one for me, I have to say.
So when you're 48, 49, you're not gonna...
can't see it. No, I can't really.
Where will you be when you're 48, 49? It'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
No, I'd like to think I'll still be training, to be honest with you, because I mean, it's a passion for me. I can't see my life without boxing. Granted, not in the ring. You know, I've had my day in the ring. I mean, my goal is to pass on my expertise from what I've learned to the youngsters. But I think 48, 50 was still young, relatively young for the
How old are you now?
Coach. 35.
Oh, you are? Oh, you're a couple of years younger than you. Our lives went separately.
No, but 35 years of age, you know, I could have gone on a lot longer than I did. I did do, to be honest with you. If I'd looked after myself a little bit better, I think I could have gone on longer than I did do. I retired, I had a lot of fights and a lot of tough fights, and a lot of tough fights crammed into a short space of time, but when you think my last fight was 33 years, it's not really that old, to be honest with you. But I turned pro at 18. I crammed a lot of fights in that hard time. You know, even before I beat Cassius, which was considered my best win when I won the world title. I previously had 15 defences of the WBU title, which people forget about. You know, so I had a long, hard career, and the way I fought, I was always attacking, step one to get one in type. I wasn't destined for a long career, but really, you know, I'm still a young man, I guess. Still got a lot to do in the game.
You are a young man. Very young, Ricky. Another debate that's been going on really rife over the last few weeks is obviously this topic of fighters going out to America and being considered underdogs, gaining home advantage for your fighter as a promoter. I mean, I haven't spoke to you about this. How do you see it? Dennis Hobson yesterday's announced that Stuart Hall and Randy Caballero will be here in England, which is great. He outbid Golden Boy on the first bid, so that's fantastic. But how important is that home advantage? You've had a cross between the two. You fought in America, but also you've had great nights, like you said, against Costa Zoo. And
it is very important to have a home advantage. I think. I don't know. I think I stopped Costa Zoo in the distance, inside the distance. Then I made him quit on his stool. But and I like to think, you know, that night, whether I fought him in Sydney or whether I boxed him in Manchester, and because I don't think anyone was going to stop me that night. I had such a will to win. But having said that, there's a lot of things that could be said. That, you know, when things were getting hard in the fight, when I was tired, it was, you know, that the crowd, you know, dragged me through it. I think they did drag me through it. I was very fortunate to have a following where wherever I boxed, I was the home fight. When I went to Vegas and boxed Floyd and Manny and all them people, you know, couldn't have been any further away from home. But I was the home fighter. You know, the fans just went over there to support me. But I think it can pay a big advantage. You know, Stuart Hall will probably be the underdog, you know, in that fight. So where he needs that little bit of extra man in order to drag him through, then I think it's one of them fights that maybe be essential in winning it. Yeah.
But as fighters, obviously, you know, I'm not a fighter. You know that. Yeah. Just making sure. Just make sure you know. But as a fighter, if you're offered, obviously, a home fight, but you're also offered a fight in New York at the Madison Square Garden, Brooklyn Center, Vegas MGM, what do you do in that situation? As in, forget the money side of it out. How about the thing of actually going out to America and having your world title fight out there?
Well, I was very fortunate again that I tipped all the boxes. He had my world title fights out there. He had me greatest night here in Manchester. Personal choice, really. I think, you know, I think the main thing.
Where did you prefer? Like, if you had the choice of selling out City of Manchester Stadium, which you did against Les Cano, or fighting in front of 19,000 at the MGM, given the choice, forget the money side of it, where would you rather fight?
Oh, well, if you're going to forget the money side of it, then Manchester Arena, obviously, the City of Manchester Stadium, without doubt, was always going to be a dream of mine. You know, everyone who wants to be a world champion, be a top class fighter, of course they want to make their living and earn themselves enough money to look after themselves and the family. But all I want to do from an 18 years of age, you know, if you asked any boxer or anyone who's been a world champion, I guess, well, you know, the money is important. I think if you've asked any fighter or any world champion, you know, what did he want to be when he was 12 years of age, 13 years of age, I don't think it would be I wanted to be a millionaire. I think it would be I want to be a world champion. You know, and that's where we always looked at it. And I think it's, you know, money is important, but obviously, you know, money is important, but that's, you know, we wanted to be the best. That's why we went into the game in the first place. So
it's interesting. You, like I said, you fought your career. You
see, if you want to be a world champion, you know, when you become a world champion, the money will follow. You know, so I mean, that's the best way. I think you can look at it, but easier said than done, because it depends on your own predicament, doesn't it, at the time.
I was just saying, you fought your career, and the two best people in your weight in Pacquiao and Mayweather, you fell short at that, but people are winning belts now and having fights now, not being tested against the best in the division. But you're one that did that. You had great nights, but against, at the time, the top two pound for pound fighters, you come short. But do you blame people, even if they have got an underdog status, to go and take them fights? Not that you had an underdog status. No one knew it was against Pacquiao or Mayweather. I just, you know, if we're looking about what's important, is it the money, or is it, you know, is it becoming a world champion, or is it being the best? Well, I wanted to be the best, and I fought the two best in Mayweather and Pacquiao. And they are the two best, and they don't want to fight each other. You know, so there's got to be something in that. And ultimately, why didn't they fight each other? It was over money. So, you know, it is important, but, you know, I think it's a bit of, you've got to, you know, you've got to be a little bit in the middle, haven't you? Well, I might not get, you know,
I'm fulfilling my dream. I'm boxing at the best stadium here. I might not be getting as much as I want, or if I'm fighting at the MEN Arena against Cassius, to get Cassius in Manchester, you know, obviously I'm not going to get as much money as what I could get from going to Sydney or Las Vegas, but you know, it's a little bit of give and take. I think that's the way you got to look at it.
Who do you think will, out of all these fighters, because there was a big story recently about potential fighters coming back. Can you see someone like Calzaghe ever come back, Rick? Has it gone too late for that now?
I hope not, because Calzaghe has already secured his legacy, hasn't it? And from what I see from Calzaghe, you don't see that much of Joe now, but I mean, you see him knocking about on the TV every now and again, here and there, or in the paper somewhere, you know. He seems happy and content, so that's the way you want you fight. You want to finish your career, don't you? You know, happy, content, happy with what I've got done, secured enough money for my family. I can't see, looking what Joe achieved in the ring and how he is now in his personal life, what on earth he would want to come back for, but you never know. People have their own reasons. I mean, Joe is, for me, I think he's the greatest British fighter we've ever had, you know, and can't get better than that. He retired unbeaten, and as long as he's happy with his personal life, there's nothing for him to come back. I'd rather see him stay there.
Will we ever see someone with your fan base in our lifetime? Because it was remarkable. You have to admit, even though it is you don't want to be too modest, but that fan base of tens of thousands of people going over to a place where that only holds, what I think the MGM's official capacity is 16,800. So, do we see that again? Why was that the thing with you?
You never know. You might see it again. Probably, you'd have to say maybe not. You know, if I could bottle it and sell it, you know, then I wouldn't need to make a comeback. But it's very hard, you know, to say, how did you do it? When people say to me, how did you do it, Rick? Why did you have that following? You know, I was just being me, you know what I mean? I had a good stay, I had an exciting style in the ring, you know, never took a backward step. I like to think I fought the best, moved up and down in weights. But I think more for what I stood for outside of the ring, you know, I was just a bit of a lad, wasn't I? You know, I mean, you know, everyone who wanted to support me probably thought they were supporting the mate rather than a British boxer. So, now that the gym was sat here today, I could have maybe done this gym anywhere, but I want to do it in my hometown of Hyde. You know what I mean? I stay close to my roots. You know, I go to the same places and do the same things I've always done, and you know, fans see that. You know, they can see if you're being false, or you can see if he's, you know what, he's just like us, and I guess that's what they thought, you know, that he was just one of us, you know, and you know, for my sins, and I don't want any other fighters doing it, but you know, they used to say, well, he used to go to the butty box for the breakfast, he used to go to the pub and have a pint with his mates and play darts, he goes and sits in the stand at City, and none of that's manufactured, that's me, yeah. And I think that's what fans could see, and I think that's why I had the following I had.
Do you know when I first realised that how normal you actually were? Of all like the fame you've got and the money you've got, this is when I realised how normal. No, I'm going to tell you. Right? When I was in Vegas with you for the Pacquiao fight, we went shopping one day, me and you, and you had a Rolex on that hand you've got there. It might have been the same one. I don't know if you've had that. We went into a shop. You picked out a diesel watch and went, "Hey, cool. What do you think of that?" And I went. And you looked at it, it was like $100 or whatever it was, and I just thought to myself, he's got a Rolex, he's asking me about a diesel watch, and I just thought, this is
well, I bet the diesel watch, I think it had something like 1978 on it or something, which was the year I was born, which established, so I mean, I don't know, it just took me fancy. For last week I took my Rolex in the safe and just went out with my diesel.
I just couldn't work it out. I was looking at one watch, I was looking at another watch.
Down the strip.
That's when I first realised, but that was what, I don't know, 5 years ago that Pacquiao came.
No, it makes me feel very, very proud when people turn around and say to me, "God, Rick, we went to Vegas for the Mayweather fight and never seen anything like it." You know, the bar running out of beer, and you know, people in all the bars and the restaurants and the shops just singing all day long. You know, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya is probably Mr. Vegas. said it's never ever been done before, it'll never ever be done again. That's Oscar De La Hoya, you know, so, you know, and I think most people who did go to that fight in Vegas for the Mayweather fight, I think they'll talk about that till the day they die, for an atmosphere and an occasion, and, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alright, well listen, obviously you don't need a bodyguard anymore, do you? Everyone leave you alone.
No.
Do you ever think you'll employ me again?
Pardon?
Do you think you'll employ me again?
Well, I'm retired now, aren't I? So, you know.
No, I'm just saying, just walking down the road and that if you need someone to...
Well, if we ever need to go and buy a diesel, then, yeah, you're the man, yeah.
Yeah. I brought you home safe, didn't I? You were completely safe in Vegas.
You brought me home safe, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you had a tough job on your hands, me in Vegas after, when I wanted to go out for the pint.
I wasn't going to mention it. But that, do you know what? That extra. Do you remember? I was going to go home.
Rick, when do you want to go home? Please, do you want to go home? No. We'll have one more, Kugan. Oh, John, I've not been paid enough for this yet.
Do you know what? That last 8 days after the Pacquiao defeat, that's when I realised, right now I'm actually earning my money from Ricky because it was fucking hard work. I'm not gonna lie, Rick. 8 days on, you know. I was like, come on, Rick.
Come on, Rick. Please go to bed.
Rick. One more. Come on. But no, listen. It was a good experience. Like I said, well, not for you, but it was a good experience for me. But now listen, it's all memories now. Anyway, you've got your new
good ones.
Yeah, of course you've had brilliant nights and you've had disappointing nights, but there's no shame in losing to. You ain't got me to tell you that, but no shame in losing to the two who you could still argue they haven't fought each other, so
yeah.
It is what it is.
No, we had some good ones.
Definitely. All right, Ricky.
Good to see you, pal.
Thanks for talking to IFL TV. And where are you going now?
I'm going to get some dinner. Got a few meetings. Go around and see my kids. That's it. Life's slowing down a little bit now. Yeah. And you needed to, didn't it?
Definitely. Definitely. All right. This is Kugan Cassius with Ricky Hatton here at Hatton Health and Fitness for IFL TV in association with MGM Marbella. Thank you very much.